On the summit of Monk's Mound, in a pit beside a row of posts, someone buried a small dog. It was laid whole. About 50 grams of red ochre went into the pit with it, and a small plain vessel. It is one of 3 Kennett deposits on the mound. The second lies at the ramp gate with a human skull. The third sits south of the palisade entrance. All 3 are at openings. For a long time, the burial had no date at all. Then it was sampled. A bone was drawn from the Illinois State Museum collections, and an assay was run. It came back late Archaic or early woodland. The same sample was run a second time. That one came back Middle Woodland. A third portion, from the same burial, went to a different laboratory. There was too little carbon left in it to date. Both completed results are pre-Mississippian. On a summit whose buildings are Mississippian, that is a remarkable thing to find. It is also a result that has to be handled carefully, and here is why. The second assay is not a second opinion. It is the same sample, measured again. 2 samples that agree constrain the age of the deposit, because the sources of error in each are largely independent. That is what replication means. One sample measured twice tells you about the sample. If that bone carries contamination, or degraded collagen, or an offset from the animal's diet, every run on it is pushed the same way. The runs agree that the dog is early, and disagree about how early, which is exactly what was reported. Water in a river system carries dissolved carbon from ancient rock. That carbon is already old when it enters the food chain. A fish takes it up, a dog eats the fish. The animal's bones are built from carbon that was whole before it was born. Cahokia sits on a flip line with lake systems on 3 sides. The offset is not fixed, and it cannot be corrected without measuring what the animal ate. Those measurements were not published. No ages before present, no error terms, no laboratory names, no pretreatment record, no collagen yields, no calibrated ranges. What was published is 2-phase labels. Without the numbers behind them, no reader can test whether the 2 results overlap, or whether either one met minimum quality standards. The archaeologist who ran them called the results unreliable. That judgment cannot be adopted as a finding either, and for the same reason, the data behind it were never published. The absence cuts both ways, with equal force. It does not favor whichever reading you happen to prefer. The honest breed is unresolved. None of this touches the rest of the case, and the rest of the case is not weak. The dog was articulated. It was buried where it was found, not carried in with mound fill. It lay in a cut pit with osher and a vessel. And in 1970, one zoologist measured it and placed it within the range of archaic shell. Heat dogs, a judgment made without reference to any assay. That is an argument, is a better one than 2 unpublished numbers. What was settled it is ordinary. The laboratory records first, because they may already exist. Then a single new determination, ultra-filtered, replicated at a second laboratory, and published with its isotopes and its collagen yield. Anything less would repeat the fault it was meant to correct, a number issued without what a reader needs to judge it.